get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Working the middle here, that's complete to Knox, the tight end. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a 1st down.
They run from the pistol with Hillman. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe.
You talk about this Chiefs defense.
They come into this one in the bottom half of the NFL against the run, number 19 overall.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better, because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Up the middle, Hillman. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the 1st down.
60 Bison.
Looking to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And he still has yet to get on track in this first half, as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Dawson Knox, 35 yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. The extra point up and good. And that will cut the lead down to 15. Following the touchdown, Badgley out there to kick it away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him, because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Fancy footwork at the 45. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 61 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them. But they did do a nice job there, forcing a loss on that play.
Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Going for the deep ball. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Here's Mahomes to throw. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. A big play there. 52 yards. And the Chiefs are able to add on to their first half lead. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And we will not have a return. They'll bring this to the 30. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Let's go. Track 60. 79 Bronco. Buffalo 18. Go.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give it this time to Hillman up the gut. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
Let's go now. 19 Lions.
Second and 6. He finds his man complete. It's Williamson. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 35. A reminder that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll check in with Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play.
Running right, this is Hillman. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up 2nd and 12. They'll look to throw here. Able to shake him off. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll set up a throw. That's caught. It's Marvin Mims. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. It's a 15-yard pickup, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. They'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 4th down, no problem. Just a ho-hum pickup of 14 to keep the offense on the field. Back to the running game they go. It's Hillman. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball in this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Back to throw here. Drops it off for Hillman. The Chiefs quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. And his kick is good. And that'll get this back down to a 20-point spread. Well, not the best first half facing this deficit, but at least they did put 3 on the board before half.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that stormy, cloudy day, and the sun peeks through just for a second. They saw the sun there. They're hoping to see a little bit more of it in the second half.
And not willing to risk a return. This ball's going to come out to the 30-yard line. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And with Mahomes under center, anything's possible. Watch out for the deep ball. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. A 2nd and 10 on a chilly, snowy December day. And I must say, I'm loving it. Kind of putting me in the holiday spirit. Charles hates it. He's giving me the evil eye, folks. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Time for a break. We've hit halftime. 2 quarters down. 2 still remain. We step aside. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. Well, the Rocky Mountain snow looks like it's going to continue through this second half as we are back underway in Denver. And we will not see a return of the dynamic kickoff. And the first drive of the second half will commence from the 30-yard line. The KC offense out of the huddle, ready for their next drive. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
2 yards to go, second down.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
On third down, they're going to run for it here. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first.
83 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at second down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
A beautiful fake.
And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line.
An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Here now, 2nd and 4.
Here's a give up the middle. And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Trent McDuffie with a pick.
And he will take this all the way down to the 38-yard line.
So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
So after the INT, here's Mahomes.
Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan.
And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Taking it in from 11 yards out.
And the Chiefs take the interception on defense and convert it into 6 points.
Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. They'll try and run it up the middle. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion to extend this lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30.
Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Well, it's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. The turnover on the last drive, they had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
19 tight. No street.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. And that is incomplete.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
He'll look to throw.
He's got his running back out of the backfield. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Mustang 19. Check smash. 60 Bobcat.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Jalen Armour-Davis.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes they kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick six.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. And as confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the two-point try. They're going to try and run. And they are 3 for 3 on two-point conversions as he is into the end zone for the score.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for two, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get two. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go.
Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Well, you're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
And now here is another interception.
Picked up by Riley Moss.
And the return across midfield into the 46-yard line. What a nightmarish game he's having now. 6 interceptions that he has thrown.
Absolutely unbelievable, isn't it? Hard to believe we're watching this and have seen it, but it just tells you about the game of football. It giveth and it taketh away.
Yeah, the guys, though, that have thrown 6 interceptions in a game, the likes of Peyton Manning, Brett Favre, I think Joe Namath, he did it 3 times.
Yellow.
From the gun, they'll try to run it. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. They'll come up 2nd and 7. Mahomes now to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be touched down in the end, but a big play on that one. Now Mahomes. And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They'll see about converting this 3rd and 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. 138 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to take it into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Taking it in from 2 yards out. And the Chiefs get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Andy Reid never one to shy away from taking chances. He'll go for 2. Mahomes will throw for it. And this one incomplete. So they went for the 2. They don't get it.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you went, I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. From the gun, it's a run for Hillman. Oh, what a move. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. We're off to the fourth quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
79 Bronco. Check go.
Back to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Williamson. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a second and just a few inches left.
Buffalo 18, 19 right. Come on, set.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. They'll try and run for the first with Hillman. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Chop 60, chop 60. 18 right, 18 right. 60 Maverick, 60 Maverick.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20.
So after the big play on fourth, here's 1st and 10.
Now back to throw. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. And my goodness, another interception. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
Extra point right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And no run back here. That's going to be a touchback, and we'll bring it out to the 30-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And now here is another interception. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's...
Rifles one, and it's going to be intercepted. Isaiah Simmons picking it off. And the Broncos are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line.
Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over.
And boy, another ill-advised throw there as that will wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10.
They're going to look to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
That incompletion brings us one step closer to the end of this one. Maybe mercifully, partner. And let's face it, though. No surprise, they're still flinging it around. They have pride, too.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw.
Quickly into the hands of Mims.
And he is going to be stopped at the 12, short of the first down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And my goodness, another interception. And they will set up shop, red zone territory at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown.
Brevin Jordan
from 13 yards out.
And the Chiefs look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this fourth quarter.
And his kick is good, and flags fly as well. Some frustration showing through right now. This is going to be a roughing call. After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield.
And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
I'd say it's pretty good strategy. If you throw interceptions on back-to-back drives, let's see if the running backs can handle the ball a little bit, get things going. And also, you motivate your offensive line. I think they're in the mood to fire out and hit someone.
I thought the defense, though, might be a little more prepared for that run. Pretty good gain on the ground. On play action, they'll throw. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So a PI call going to cost him there defensively. What did you see?
Well, I think it's the right call, partner, because sometimes we'll see officials kind of let them play. But by the letter of the law, that's definitely a penalty.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 19 yards that time for number 19. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Let's go now. Panther 11. Panther 11. Dragon 60. Hut, hut.
He'll look to throw. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Williamson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And Davis has it over the middle. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
18, Pioneer.
Back to throw again. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
19 tight. Check go.
They'll look to throw again. And now here is another interception.
Trent McDuffie with a pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now Mahomes to the line as the Chiefs are going to go for the 2-point try. They'll try and run it here. And he is not going to get to the goal line. And for the first time here this afternoon, they are thwarted on the 2-point conversion. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps, to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
He's across midfield. And some room to run now. And he gets it all the way down to the 3. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. They'll run here with Hillman. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal.
19, Tiger, 19, Tiger.
Oh, they're going to run a little pop pass here. And it doesn't matter who carries it, apparently, as they'll drop him behind the line as well. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it with 16 seconds remaining on the clock. And now can they reverse the trend on 3rd and goal with the last 2 plays having gone backwards? They'll look to throw here. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
This has obviously been a bad loss, but one of the few things they can still do is try and throw the ball all the way to the end zone and get some points on the board so they're not shut out over the final 2 quarters of this game.
No choice but to go. Here's 4th down now. They'll drop to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Caleb Farley. And the Chiefs are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And, gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. And this is incomplete. Very lucky to get that one back. That nearly picked. It's 2nd down now. Now a handoff looking right. There he goes, right side. He's on his way. And he takes it in for the score on the game's final play, so it doesn't affect the outcome, but a little whipped cream on top to their ending.
Or as our friends in Bayou Country would say, that's a little lagniappe, a little extra on top.
Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an offense that was truly playing at an elite level in this contest.
Partner, this game was over a long time ago, and you noticed they did not want to slow down anything. Absolutely a dream scenario for everyone on that offense, and they took advantage of every second. Guaranteed popcorn for everyone in their film session.
So for the Chiefs, it's a 10th win of the year now as they move to 10-4, and they'll get another road 10.